Hey everyone. I just want to start off by saying thanks to the one person that likes and watches my videos. I appreciate that. If anyone else sees this, please like, share, subscribe, and it would really help me out. Today I want to go over Bitcoin's adoption because I think, with the recent rally up to $50,000 that we hit recently, I think like last night. I'm always asleep when these things happen, but as the price goes higher, more people are going to jump in. And I think that with the number of people that are jumping in, adoption could, just leave the stratosphere. Like when everyone was getting smartphones or internet or, home computers, which I'll go over that here in a second. But there might, like, I'll get into it, but these price swings right here, these might not continue to happen because of, or they could continue to happen. There are two different arguments I'm going to make here for and against it. The argument against it would be that as more people adopt it, the less dramatic, this is the logarithmic chart for Bitcoin, the less dramatic these price swings will be. So we won't go from, what is this, 13,000 down to 3,000, from 20,000 to 3,000 or whatever. We won't go through such dramatic decreases in price because of the number of people that will buy the dips and the number of people that have, active addresses and are actually using Bitcoin. So that kind of leads into something that the Fed is going to do. They're going to release something that is called the Fed coin. And one of the aspects of the Fed coin is that it will implement a negative interest rate on your savings account. So say it's a 5% interest rate and you have $100,000 in the account, then every year you're going to lose $5,000 of your money. The reason why they want to do this is, one, this will be what do they call it? A central bank digital currency, a CBDC. And that way they'll be able to track every single transaction. They'll know exactly who has how much Fed coin and, where it's going. And this is going to be like through the Fed, not through your local, large bank like JP Morgan Chase or Morgan Stanley or, Bank of America or any of those. This is coming straight from the Fed, which, they might be utilized by JP Morgan Chase and them, but they will be issued through the central bank. And so they will have full control over the currency. And the reason why they want to do this is because they want to be able to control the velocity of money, how fast money is being spent or saved. And so if you have a negative interest rate on your savings, you're going to be inclined to spend it or to buy things that don't have a negative interest rate on it and potentially, have a positive interest rate, like, buying a bond or, a stock that pays a dividend or something along those lines, or something that actually increases in value like Bitcoin or gold. And this legacy research group actually says that this is the main reason right here is why they see Bitcoin and gold going much higher, which I absolutely agree with. But what's interesting is, back to the price swings of Bitcoin. One, yeah, the adoption might eliminate the vastness of the price swings, but as Lynn Alden kind of pointed out, this might be, part of Bitcoin's code, like how, because of the halvenings and, the difficulty rate and the, what is it I'm trying to think of? But just other metrics of Bitcoin that kind of force these price swings. But I see this kind of playing in what the Fed is trying to do in their favor, because if these price swings continue, then, when the price starts to go down and it has a significant downward trend, then the velocity of money or transactions of Bitcoin will increase. And so they'll get what they want, actually, which I think is very interesting, because no one's going to use the Fed coin. No, I'm not. what they're going to do is they're going to incentivize people to use the Fed coin by, saying, hey, download this app. We'll give you 1,000, Fed coin dollars or whatever it is. And, that way it'll get you to adopt it, and you'll say, oh, hey, free money. That's great. But I don't think that anyone's going to use it, because once you have your bank account hooked up to it, maybe they don't have that negative interest rate at first, but once you have your bank account hooked up to it and you are getting your paycheck through the Fed coin, then they'll probably implement the negative interest rate, and you'll be just losing money left and right. But these price swings could work in their favor. As much as we all don't like central banks and them trying to control the currency, but like, this is what they're trying to do for the markets. Like the market that, Wall Street and, people with high net worth want people to spend money so that they can essentially take more of your money. Bitcoin you need to be saving in Bitcoin, because it's just not the US dollar or Fed coin that they can just print to oblivion. It's not going to stop. So kind of moving on to adoption. So here's the percentage of households in the US with a computer from 1984 to 2016. Now, this is a 13-year jump here. It's a 3-year jump, and then they kind of get more consistent. But there was only like 2 years where the number of household computers actually went down. So the technology, I forget there's a physical law that, like a law of increasing adoption, or about, what is it? It's going to bother me anyway. But as you can see, like, adoption just keeps increasing. We're over 90%. I would say that we're probably up in the high 90s as of now in the United States, of number of, people that have a computer at home that they can use. And so this is just adoption of technology. Like, we can take a look at smartphones from 2010 to 2021. This is a better graph, but you can see, like, there was not a single year where there were fewer people owning a smartphone in the United States. You can kind of see a level off here a little bit, because I think, we're to a point where everyone that can afford a smartphone, gets one. But the adoption may increase, with the price of Bitcoin increasing, because you can literally just download an app and buy Bitcoin. So that kind of brings me into the next thing. These are the number of people in the world that are active mobile internet users and active users, social media and whatever social media. But you can see there's over half the world, 4.28 billion people, have access to either use a mobile device or have access to the internet some way or somehow. So all of these people can right now download an app and buy Bitcoin and hold it. And like, this is just one of the reasons why I see like the adoption for Bitcoin just going through the stratosphere this year, especially as the pricing. People are just going to see the price go up, and it has gone up, but they're just it's too easy. Like, so kind of leading into the internet users, you have to hook up your bank account to these apps so that you can actually pay for the Bitcoin, or maybe you can get it through buying and selling and trading through your business, or a lot of the African countries have started to adopt Bitcoin, and I can assume that they're probably not using US dollars. They might be just trading with each other to use the Bitcoin. But here's the number: over 60% of the world have bank accounts that they can actually hook up to their to an app and actually buy Bitcoin right now. So it's 60%, and then you have the number of internet users is at 4.28 billion. So they're roughly in the same area. The people that adopt new technology just kind of go with, adopting bank accounts and such. Moving on. So then you kind of look at, where is Bitcoin right now? How common is it? And I find it really interesting that Nigeria, like I was saying, these African countries like are starting to adopt Bitcoin on a mass scale. So there you have Nigeria, you have Vietnam in the east, Philippines, Turkey, and I was really kind of surprised that only 6% of the United States population actually has Bitcoin or is using it. There are other metrics that you can look at to try and figure out, the number of addresses, the total addresses, and how many transactions are going through. But I just see it could definitely, adoption is here. It's here to stay. People, I don't think that the number of Bitcoin users is going to go down anytime soon. And even with the added adoption, we could leave the stratosphere. Like, we legit could just, everyone who has an app or a smartphone just downloads whatever they need and buys Bitcoin, and the price just leaves the stratosphere. We might not see these price swings anymore. That's kind of, bringing this full circle. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not a financial advisor. I will make a video on how even if Bitcoin goes to $1 million, how some of y'all it's not going to affect your life whatsoever. Even if you hold Bitcoin, even if you have 10 Bitcoin, because you're just not financially literate. It may not be your fault, but things are happening this year. This will be a good year. So I hope, if you got information from this video, if you liked it, please, like it, share, subscribe. To the one person that watches these videos, appreciate it. Thank you. Leave a comment as well, and I'll see you in the next one.